it's Angie from Canterbury Trails Farm, and I'm out in the garage. It's late, and I'm working on my Christmas cards for the year. My idea for this year's Christmas card is going to be a musical book that opens up, and it's going to have a scene inside. It's going to have a fireplace scene and an actual like little Christmas tree and a little, it looked like an antique doll sort of decorating the tree, and there's going to be a little button that you push that has a musical selection, a Christmas hymn, and the outside is going to look like a book. So what I did, I bought these little craft papier-mâché books that open up, and I've painted them red, and some of them didn't come out real well, but that's okay because I'm going to make them look antique-y anyway. So I painted them all red, and now I want to paint the page portions, just right the end pieces. I'm going to paint those gold, and then I'm going to let them dry. I'm just doing the outside part here, so I used a high gloss spray paint on these because they are paper mache. I was afraid if I tried to paint them that they would suck up too much paint, and then they would become like sort of waterlogged. So what I'm having to do is cover the red. Some of these they didn't get some red on them, so that's good. I was trying to avoid, if possible, getting the red on the where the pages were going to go, because these are supposed to be the pages of the books. Okay, I finished all the gold, and I did a double coat, and it was like impossible to keep off the edges, so I'm just going to have to touch that up with red when it's done. I kept trying to wipe it off. It seemed like it was a losing battle anyway. Touch these up. I had a lot of different camera problems, and a couple cameras died, and so here I am. So in the meantime, I had to keep working. So let's back up and discuss where we were. When we were last together, I had painted the boxes red and the pages, quote-unquote pages, gold. What I did was I went and used a black Sharpie and just drew like lines to look like book pages there. And I used a gold metallic paint pen to do like the little end decorations on a book spine. These stick-on adhesive stickers that say Merry Christmas that are going to go between the little gold decorations on the spine. So it's going to be like the book spine. This is Merry Christmas. So I knew I wanted an interior cozy sort of house picture. So I started looking for an illustration, and I soon realized what I was going to need was some sort of greeting card. So I started looking at vintage greeting cards on eBay. The first one I found was this fireplace, which was nice, but I realized I wanted something on both the inside and the flap of the book, so it was like a wraparound, and I was going to have to sort of cobble something together with this one, so I ruled that one out. Then I started looking at something that was big enough that could be reproduced, that I could stretch across the whole inside of the book. And I did find several different ones and that I had watches on, and finally I found this one, and I thought it was perfect. It was an unusual card, as the scene wrapped around the outside. You can see where the Hallmark thing is there on the outside. For that, I had figured I was going to have to, sort of Photoshop out some, the writing or something, or cover it up with, something else. So this one turned out to be good. So I got this card, and then I usually use colored ink, and so I got a colored ink cartridge for my printer, and I shrunk it down to the measurements of the inside of the box, and I printed them off. So then we ended up with this little scene in here. Trees from the craft store, and I had various buttons of a cat near the chair. So I used cat buttons. I had a bunch of different ones. This one was a little bit different style. And I replaced the cat with the cat buttons, so I thought that was cute. So I gave it sort of a 3D thing. Then in the back by the fireplace, there was a picture of a Christmas sock. Let's look at. So I used various. I had some ceramic buttons. I had some little plastic. I just got like on Amazon. It was just a collection of flat-backed Christmas craft-like things, and just a whole bag of random ones. And I fished out all the Christmas stocking ones, and they're glued in the background now too. So between all of those, I replaced all of the little Christmas stockings. And there's another cat. A 2-inch round little circle for the tree skirt, cut a slit in it, slid it over the tree base. It's a little wood base, and I put a drop of glue to hold the tree skirt to the tree base, and then I glued the tree in after I decorated it. And again, I used the same little do-jobbies that came in the Christmas craft set, just various ones. I didn't want to overdo the tree. It would have been too much. I had these pretty buttons that I also got on Amazon that I used for the tree stars. I think I had some that were, here's some that were yellow, but most of them are just this white iridescent kind of pretty. So I just put 2 ornaments on each tree and the tree star. I didn't want it to be too busy. The thing, I bought these little music things that are for scrapbooks and other kind of crafts, and I bought a set of them. They're all Christmas songs. They're random. The plan is to glue that to the side over here and have the little doll that I'm fixing to show you, her skirt sort of cover it up, and then someone can just reach in and push it. So on the little dolls, I ordered these little faces off of Etsy. They came, just, it was random 10 little faces, and then I was short one, so I had to get this one that's sort of freaky because I didn't want to pay. These were more expensive, and I was trying to just cheaply get one more, and so I bought these other ones that are sort of weird, but I got to make like a little bonnet or something to go on her because she doesn't have hair. But these were really cute, and I just used pipe cleaner to bend their body, and let me show you how I bent their body. I used a pipe cleaner and I cut off about 3 inches for the arms, and then I folded what was remaining in half and twisted a little loop for the head. So now it looks like a little kid's drawing. It's got a head and legs, and then you take the pipe cleaner and you're just going to twist it around the neck, so to speak, and now I've got a little like stick guy. I took some fiber fill. Just took a little clump of it and I twisted it around her body, and I just used thread to sort of just make it, you know, secure and make a little, feels like a little body, and I glued the thread down so it won't come off. And the clothes I made so far, I've got this. It's all a minimal amount of sewing, a lot of gluing. So I did a little dress with the apron I thought was really cute. There's another red one, and just all kinds of little doodads. I dug out all kinds of random stuff that I had, little bows, and this one I had little, like little applique, just all the little random things that I've had sitting around. This one had a little pink hat, so I made her a pink dress. That was cute. So I'm going to show you the easy way that I've done the clothes. 'Cause I didn't want to, I mean, I can sew a bunch of little tiny doll dresses, but it would be very time consuming. So on the first thing I've done, I got this weird big head one, is cut a rectangle and cut a slit in it. And that's going to be the bodice of the dress. I'm just going to pull it on there. And your width of your rectangle you sort of want to figure out for your sleeves there. For the skirt, I cut a circle, and yours will be different depending on if you do this and depending on the dimensions of your doll and the height of your doll. But I sort of figured out what the length of the skirt that I wanted, and I just cut a circle and cut a hole in the middle. And I am going to do a minimal amount of sewing here to gather the skirt. I'm just going to go around the hole I glued a little flower applique onto the skirt because this fabric has little white flowers in it, and the applique was just perfect, so I glued it on there. And something with this scale, you have to sort of remember that less is more. Like a book cover. So I've gathered it a little bit. I'm going to insert the little doll into the hole. And pull that little rectangle down under the skirt. On a couple of these, I did sew the little rectangle onto the body before I actually put the skirt on, but this one seems like it'll be doing okay. And I'm just going to cinch it up and the back, sewing right through that fiber fill that we put on the body. Everything's sort of getting sewn to it there. Suddenly we have a whole little dress there. Bend up the ends of your pipe cleaner arms there. I'm not doing hands. I'm not worrying about my back, even though it's a little messy. I'm not worrying about, because it's going to go, she's going to get glued into place, and it's going to go against the back, so no one's going to see it. So that's what we have so far, the little dress. And you can see it looks like a full little dress, even though it's just, we didn't do a whole lot. I didn't hem it or anything. It's just a cut little circle. I bought these other stickers. They came in sheets. There were several different sets of them on Amazon, just Christmas stickers, and they're all, most of the ones they have all different kinds, but the ones I ordered were all retro. And I went through, since I'm making 11 boxes, and I chose my favorites. And I still have a couple that I might end up rejecting and getting something else. The sticker is going to go on the front of the book. I'm going to use the little gold marker to do like a little just decoration in each corner, and on the back there'll be the Merry Christmas one. So what I'm working on there, that'll be the last thing. I wanted to wait till I had the inside done because I'm really having to hold them and manhandle the whole book and everything as I'm putting everything in and gluing it in. The first thing I'm going to do, I just realized as I picked this one up, some of the trees you have to take into account this ledge has to go into the book and close. So when I first started, I was checking that, but the one I just picked up, this is another one. Some of them I have positioned too close, and I'm going to have to take them out and re-glue. Because if they're not back far enough, that one's good. Your book isn't going to close. A lot of sketches on what I wanted it to look like. If you don't really have an idea of what you would like to do for just look up like Christmas dioramas on Google, and then look at pictures of things. A lot of vintage shadow boxes. Look up the shadow boxes too. Vintage shadow box, Christmas shadow box. There was a big craft in the 50s that a lot of people made their own Christmas scenes. You don't have to do it inside house like I did. You could get a lot less complicated if you wanted to do just like a snowman scene. And then you just make a snowman. You could make stuffed snowman. You could use a baby or an infant or a toddler's sock, white sock, to make a stuffed snowman. So that, glue that in, do a snow scene inside. The book obviously can be any color. If I did a snowman, I probably would do either I would do probably blue and silver. Book, I want to say it was 5 by 4 or 5 by 5. I can't remember exactly. They make all different sizes, but realize the bigger the book you get, not only are you going to increase your Christmas card postage, but you're going to have more space that you're going to need to decorate, which costs more money. So if you're on a smaller scale, you can do, like I said, less is more. So I just had the scene, the Christmas tree, and the little doll that's going to go in there. On the bottom here, I'm trying to decide how exactly I want to do. She's going to be glued in, and she's going to be holding ornament. Well, I have two ideas. Either she's holding some of them like a stuffed animal, or a flat plastic gift crafty thingy. So I did a lot of measuring and to make sure things were in scale. like I said, if I did an outside scene with a snowman or something, it might be a lot easier because I had multiple components here. My background had to be in scale to the Christmas tree, and then my doll had to be in scale to the Christmas tree, and so that meant I had to find certain size heads, otherwise it would have been a mess. It got a little measury complicated. I don't like math, and I had to do lots and lots of math to make sure I got all the components were going to be in the correct scale. But I do miniatures, and so I get a little crazy on the scales being correct. So if you're not as picky as I am about that, you probably could get away with not being so picky. So I got the whole idea from some Christmas vintage dioramas that I saw on eBay that were way out of my price range, but they didn't look complicated. They were old, so they were made with the cool glittery kind of components that you could buy back in the 50s. So I thought, wouldn't that be cute if that was actually like a Christmas card that opened up and they were just like boxes. And I thought, what if I did a book? And I had seen these like little book, these are like papier-mâché book forms at Michael's before. So I went around looking on the internet. I knew if I was going to mail them, they needed to be small. Anyway, from there, I ended up with the idea that I did. The finished cards here, and they are all different. They all have the little girl and the tree, and then the musical part is hidden behind the skirt. It's a little sign that says push. They know that there's music back there. We did the spine of the book, the front cover, the pages. On the back, I've done a hang tag with our name stuck under a gold foil sticker that they could remove that hang tag if they wanted to. They're all pretty similar, but there's something different in each one, really. They all have the little push sign. There were a few spots where I had to trim, so if I got the trees too far forward, then I had to trim away part of the box, but most of them I remembered to put them back far enough where it wasn't an issue. I have 10 in all, but I put some away, and I was like, oh, I should do a follow-up video. I was taking all the pictures. I was like, I just should do a follow-up video. So I have 10 in all. They all have very cute, different illustrations for the front. I did like cutaways. Dog one, huh? That gives you some ideas what you can do for Christmas too. And I'll put some links up to the various different sources that I used. And I hope this gives you some inspiration for a holiday card that is a little bit outside the box. No pun intended. This has been Angie from Canterbury Trails Farm. Thanks for joining us for our Christmas card boxes this year.